Tim, welcome to Watch One, and thanks for logging on. Today, we're looking at the Girard-Perregaux Traveller II Alarm. 38mm in 18-karat rose gold, this watch, like all the watches showcased on our YouTube channel, Watch You Want Inc., represents actual inventory available for immediate purchase and delivery on our website, Watch You Want. And if you like seeing news, reviews, and latest news from Watch You Want, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Watch You Want, and you can get these videos and showcases daily. Now, the Girard-Perregaux Traveller II Alarm represents an important transitional reference for Girard-Perregaux. It emerged in the late 1990s, and it really was an embodiment of the type of manufacture, represented the type of watch that Girard-Perregaux was growing to issue, was becoming known for. An outstanding complication representing tremendous value. The Girard-Perregaux Traveller II Alarm features an alarm, a second time zone with AM/PM distinction, a jump date, and automatic winding, and all of this in a beautiful, alternately brushed and polished 18-karat rose gold case. Now, since it is an alarm, and the alarm is the main event of any watch so equipped, I'm going to give you a sense of how this one sounds. Okay, maybe I'll give you a better sense than that. I need to wind it up a bit more, but the bottom line is this is very much of the vintage style. Think old Vulcain cricket, think Jaeger-LeCoultre Polaris or vintage Memovox. It's very much of the chirping frog or cricket variety of alarm, the one that you can feel through the skin as much as you can hear audibly. It's a tactile as well as auditory sensation, something that has to be felt to be fully experienced. But you can hear it has a pronounced voice and a distinctive voice that is all of its own. Very much Girard-Perregaux. That's the language it speaks. And the bottom line is it's an outstanding reference in every other respect. Very useful as a travel watch because you can remind yourself when the flight is. Then you can keep track of home time and local time as you travel. It looks the business on the wrist, and that's in large part due to a case that's probably just about the perfect size for a modern formal reference. 38mm with beautiful full arcing lugs. You can see there's almost a double bend to the camber of the case from the side because the watch isn't oversized. 38mm is just about perfect. Girard-Perregaux didn't have to pare back the lugs to the point that they're not hardly there, the way you see on many oversized watches today that have cases so large that the lugs have to be scaled back in proportion. And the bottom line is the watch is so much more handsome for this refinement. You can see that gorgeous double-bowed lug structure that flares out with the curvature of the case and then arcs down and around the wrist. It's beautifully wrought, a gorgeous case, and of course Girard-Perregaux, as a true manufacturer, does make its cases and buckles as well, so you're getting that kind of value inherent in the Traveller II. Now you can see that the lugs are nice and thin when viewed from this profile, and the crystal, which is abundantly sloped, and the bezel itself conical and sloped, allow this watch to fit easily under a dress cuff. Now, Girard-Perregaux gives you an outstanding finish, double finished really, brushed and linear grained on the bezel and the flanks of the case, polished on the hoods of the lugs for contrast. Although this is a lot of gold, it's a warm gold, and the introduction of contrast differentiates these various surfaces and allows them to read as separate elements of the composition so that the gold never overpowers. 38mm, both for a dress watch and an all-gold watch, for me is just about perfect. And it's beautifully complemented by this semi-conforming end piece, brown alligator leather strap, a Girard-Perregaux piece. It is correct to the watch and features a gorgeous hybrid of hand-cut calfskin leather on the bottom, very soft, supple against the skin, and rugged alligator, heavily bolstered toward the lugs on the top. The back of the case allows it to wear nice and hefty, to have a real precious metal pull. Because it is solid rose gold, it's just a little bit heavier than we're conditioned to expect modern luxury watches to wear, because we've become so accustomed to sapphire display casebacks that are a fraction of the mass of true solid gold. I like that refinement. It's kind of a vintage touch at this point. From the perspective of 2015, it seems unusual, but it's a wonderful throwback. And for easy adjustment, the watch comes with a Girard-Perregaux pin buckle in matching 18-karat rose gold. That's a very convenient feature for adjusting the fit of the watch when it's hot, when it's cold, or when vigorous activity swells your wrist a little bit on a hot day. The dial of the watch is just as endearing as the case and the strap, featuring classical composition of applied rose gold Arabic numerals and a gorgeous sort of matte silver background. It has just enough reflectivity that it dazzles in the sun and provides a nice, almost backlit basis for the applied numerals and the features of the dial. Now, a nice feature of this watch, in addition to the high-quality hand-applied rose gold numerals, is that outboard of each one is a generous plot of superluminova lume. So what you wind up with is a watch that actually boasts outstanding nighttime visibility, excellent legibility in low or no light for dress reference. Now, the rose gold Dauphine hands at center likewise feature generous strips of lume, so this watch is more visible than you would expect from a formal reference when the lights go out, as befits a travel watch. Now, speaking of traveling, the watch features a jump second time zone at 12 o'clock. I'll move the hand out of the way so you can get a better look at that. So it features a jump hour at 12 o'clock that represents your second time zone, but also gives you 24-hour distinction. So if you're really only interested in local time, you can set the local time and then use the time at 12 o'clock as the AM/PM indicator for your local time. If you're, for whatever reason, indoors and you need AM/PM distinction, or you're simply tracking the time of day AM/PM in a remote time zone and prefer to simply have one time displayed. The jump date at 6 o'clock is nicely integrated as it takes the place of the hour index, and all of the elements are nicely composed with careful thought given to the integration of subtle touches of color. There's the beautiful cobalt blue seconds hand. There are the quarter Arabics within the alarm setting track, so you have the 3, the 6, and the 9, each one featuring a little splash of red in between the black numerals of the intermediate hours, and then of course at 12 o'clock you have the intermediate hours, the odd hours on the jump hour display, displayed as red stars. So thoughtful, a little bit humorous, kind of a nod and a wink from Girard-Perregaux's designer, a reminder that luxury watches, first and foremost, are supposed to be fun, cheerful. They're supposed to bring joy. And the bottom line is this Girard-Perregaux Traveller II certainly does that. It features the Girard-Perregaux 2291 automatic winding caliber. Now, those who are familiar with Panerai Alarm GMT watches are going to be familiar with this one. In those watches, it's sometimes referred to as the Girard-Perregaux Caliber 59. It's based on the A-Shield series of 5001, sometimes later on known as the 5008, 5009 series of automatic winding dual time zone alarm movements. 31 joules, it operates at a modern 4 Hz. It features hacking seconds, so you'll see when I pull the crown, it does stop the seconds for precise synchronization to a reference time, such as a known accurate quartz watch, an atomic clock, or a clock on your airplane if you are traveling. As befits a travel watch, precise synchronization is an option. Unidirectional winding for outstanding winding efficiency. It has been proven that unidirectional is more efficient than bidirectional. It also features a 47-hour power reserve, which offers a useful 5-hour premium over the industry standard 42. Now, this Girard-Perregaux Traveller II alarm, 38mm in 18-karat rose gold, represents outstanding value. It's also a just right 38mm size with a great ratio of size to thickness and a fantastic premium pull of precious metal with that solid rose gold caseback. It feels like $1 million on the wrist, and thanks to judicious proportions and finishing, it looks like $1 million too. You can see this Girard-Perregaux Traveller II alarm, 38mm in 18-karat rose gold, in high-resolution images on our website, Watch You Want.